All right, doing a fun little study of a pepper today. I got a 9 by 12 linen panel here. I'm not going to be using like the whole panel. Probably going to do it the same as I did my first one here and not do the whole thing. Just kind of show you, kind of doing a study. Not like a full completed painting. You can if you want. I'm doing it from this because I painted it from life. I feel like I get a better painting when I do it from life. I'll attach the photo reference so you can kind of see like the translation between photo and painting and kind of what's there and what's not there. I mean, you could print out the photo and kind of follow along with the photo too if you like, but I'm gonna just have the painting there. And I toned this with a wash of burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. For my colors here, I got ultramarine blue, sap green, alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, cadmium red light, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, and titanium white. And I got some solvent-free gel right here, and then my paint thinner. Just gonna mix up a little bit of this burnt sienna and ultramarine blue, get this drawn in. Normally I have like a simple grid or something, but for this, I'm going to use my proportional divider actually. I feel like this tool, this proportional divider, like pound for pound, is the most useful thing I have. Seen it's like $10 and I use it like all the time. So kind of got the height here. Let's put it right around there. And the width. General shape here. Now just going to create like a very vague form. Now I can kind of act like this is a thing of clay and I can kind of cut into it. So I got this, that angle, and I got this angle here. So it's like as if I'm sculpting clay and just getting the big planes first. That's there. It's there. And then pepper has these kind of like bumps. Got one big one here. One there. One's there. Seems to be right. There. Got this green part in the middle. And then this stem coming out. Now I got this shadow underneath. All right, I think I got enough blocked in to start painting. I'm gonna go to a bigger brush. Got a number 4 flat. And I'm gonna first just map out light and shadow. I'm gonna take some of my burnt sienna ultramarine blue here and just kind of show you what I'm seeing. Still, really thin. Before I go into color, let's make this easier. Let's map out light and shadow with a wash. Kind of do a little bit of a value underpainting here. Keep us on track. Got this shadow. Get a little smaller brush, number 2 here. Still working on my little value underpainting. The burnt sienna and ultramarine blue mixture. This is going to be a little darker. Darker at the bottom here. Kind of readjusting the shadow shape. All right. I can jump in. Going back to my bigger brush here. I'm going to start the shadow. It's going to create one big value color, some red, a little bit of green, yellow ochre, kind of this dark orangish red color, a little bit of blue. A little bit of dark on the outside, not much. And while we're doing dark, let's get some green. And this is just, a base for colors. We're going to build a lot more color and values off of all of this. Still keeping the paint relatively thin here. Some green, and a little burnt sienna in the green. Remember, this is darker in value than the shadow of the pepper we just did. Now, light side of the pepper, some yellow cad red, a little yellow ochre in there, touch of the green. Don't want to make this too bright. A little burnt sienna. So we want to have room to build lighter values. On top of it. Just flat color right now. A little bit in there. A little shape right there. Now coming down to the shadow, it's kind of like a purplish color. Some blue, white, a little bit of red. It's kind of like a little bit of a desaturated purple. Take some of that purple, a little bit on this edge right here. Just a little bit. All right, now clean my brush pretty well as we go into this background. Some pretty clean color. Now, thing to be aware of with this background is that it's warmer up here and a little cooler up here. Here it's got to look a little more purple. A little more blue and a little more yellow into the blue up front. So a little bit of blue, white, touch of yellow. Also using this opportunity to dial in the drawing more on edges like this. You can already see how much is being portrayed just by getting values right. You know, like the form of this, the shadow, you know, the light of the ground. It's so much. Add a little more blue to this while the paint's still wet, and soften this edge a bit. It's a shadow. We'll come back and finesse this shadow probably more later on. Now, a little more white into this mixture. Now a touch of the crimson. And make it a little more purple. Again, paying attention to drawing here. Kind of making a in-between color right there. Coming back to that kind of purplish color. All right, now we have like a little bit of everything going here in terms of colors and values. You know, we got something happening in every spot. Now it's a matter of dialing things in, getting more specific with shapes, specific with values and colors. So I'm gonna actually kind of make a darker red here for the darkest areas, kind of dark accents right there. A little burnt sienna, some green. Now as I'm putting that in, like that dark actually down here, it wasn't reading as dark, and that's because it's next to this shadow, which I think I need to lighten up a bit. You can see like this dark little line under here, it's because the shadow is a little lighter. So I'm gonna kind of get a little bit of this bluish purple and lighten this up a little bit. Also seen I can probably reshape a little bit of this shadow. I'll trim it down a bit on this side. Still softening edge. Soft edge makes all the difference. Alrighty. Let's go into like some of this reflected light. You can see this like lighter color happening. That's from light being reflected. It's coming down, it's hitting the ground, being reflected up. So it's actually a little bit of this blue. So you can see it's a little cooler. And it's the areas of this pepper that are facing downward. You know, like, so when we put this in, it's going to help indicate that plane. If that makes sense. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the red, and I'm keeping the paint thin here and letting it blend in a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot to this. Slightly kind of working it into that wet paint. So it's going to mix in a little bit and give us like a good combination. Also keeping edges on this soft with this light. Don't want things too harsh. So I can like clean my brush and then like a dry brush kind of blend that a little bit. It's one of the few times I blend my paint. You can see like how much form this is already giving to everything. Now you actually get this color. It's like a little bit of a highlight in here. Now coming back to our light, I'm going to add some more yellow. So I'm going to create a smaller, lighter value. Thinking about the form. Paint's getting a little thicker. And see how like just adding that, bringing more form. Don't want to go too light too fast. Thinking about it like you're putting pieces of cutout paper on it. Like we have this one big flat orange piece of paper now. Another slightly lighter and slightly smaller sheet of paper. Yeah, I'm paying attention to this. What do they call these on peppers? Huh? Like this ridge, this kind of bump, this hot dog shaped thing. I'm thinking about that form because it goes down here and it peaks and it starts going back down, so it gets shadow into there, and then this one starts getting lighter here, keeping that edge still a little dark. I don't want it to look outlined, but just slightly darker help build that form. I think I could have saturated color a little more. Little 80 bits right there. Now I'll get some white. Not going to pure white, I'm still letting a little bit of that orange in there. Try and do this in one stroke. Actually, never mind, scratch that. There's one more little piece of cutout paper shape I could do. I'm gonna do one more little shape before I put that highlight. I think I can go a little yellow, a little lighter here. I'll put the highlight on top of this. I feel like I'm making this pepper a little, I don't know, lighter. I think I might have gone too light here. See, if this happens, it's okay. kind of see there a little bit of crimson in there. A little bit of blue. This is good. You get to see me kind of mess up and fix a mistake. So I'm going to kind of do the process you just saw me do, kind of do it again now. If you're happy with your color, it's fine. You can just keep going. But lighten that too a little bit. A little burnt sienna in this mixture. Maybe that's what I'm missing. A little crimson. Coming back to the dark, I think I can bring this dark shape up on the side here a little bit more. And pushing this slightly lighter. Now going to the final highlight. There, and one kind of right there. Now I'm gonna work this stem a little bit. Get a small brush. This is number 0. I'm gonna get some green, some white, touch of crimson. I don't want to go too bright. Getting the right mixture. Need to lighten this, but still make it look like it's in the shadows. Some green and cad red. Darker areas. Noticing some reflected light I missed here. Now I'm gonna get some yellow, sap green and cad red. Actually, just get a little bit of that orange. Make this green for part of the stem that's out into the light. Do this for the smallest highlight. Right there. I got this small brush. Kind of fill in the background a little bit, clean up on areas like that. I think I can push this one little part here a little bit lighter. Just a little bit, just brushing it in. Softening these edges. Actually, I don't know if I need to do much in the shadow. I'm liking how simple the shadow is. I am going to push a little more warmth, so a little bit more yellow up front here. Just a little bit, just working in a little more yellow. Bring that forward. I think that's about it. Everything's pretty much there. I'm liking it. All right, that was a quick one. Hope you enjoyed. Have fun painting.